Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into the topic of property investment and tackling some of the questions that many of you may have. Why does it seem so darn difficult to get started? So let's unpack some of the reasons why and also explore some tips that will help you navigate your climb. If you're new to the channel, my name is Monty Nawaz. I'm a central London boutique developer. However, prior to that, I've got 25 years experience of central London property with offices in Singapore and Malaysia, where we used to sell, let and manage properties for local and international clients too. This channel is about property. We also share some of our bespoke flip projects, and I try and educate and teach the viewers what I've learned over the course of 25 years. Let's start off with the money maze. Property investment requires a large amount of capital. Whether you're saving up for your first home and a down payment, or whether you're looking to flip a property and looking at the spiraling construction costs, which is all got to be funded in cash. A common complaint that I hear from first-time buyers is as soon as they think that they've saved enough money for the deposit, the market's moved on and they're outpriced. Another recent factor has been the increase in the interest rates, which means that the affordability when it comes to mortgage applications and also monthly repayments sometimes means that the buyers are better off in their rental accommodation, or they've been priced out because once again they haven't got enough of a deposit and the repayments are too high. When it comes to flip investors, we've seen the spiraling construction costs that have been going up since COVID, especially when it comes to steels and glass, which have gone up over 100% in the last 2 to 3 years. Additionally, there's also incremental increases on construction costs that we see on a yearly basis of between 15 and 20%. Two solutions. The first one for the first-time buyers, and what we're actually seeing is a lot of family members, usually parents, helping their children buy early hand-me-downs to maintain and keep them on that property ladder. We've just sold a 2-bedroom flat for 1.15 million, where the entire purchase was funded in cash as a gift from the parents. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's in that league. However, if you can try and get some help from your parents or family members or even friends to maintain and get you onto the property ladder, that would be a very good stepping stone for you. Number two, when it comes to flipping property, you could have increased costs. It could be a budget issue, it could be a time constraint, and there's various solutions out there. The number one place that investors will normally go to is a bridging loan or some sort of financing, which is, I highly do not recommend that. What I would suggest as an alternative creative route is to try and reach out to some of your contacts, whether it be family, whether it be friends, that could also come in as co-investors. They could have some security over the property and also be sharing the profit share, which could be an incentive for them to invest and get you out of a sticky situation. When it comes to legalities and the buying of a property, you're always going to be using a conveyancing lawyer. Where it gets a little bit tricky is where investors are trying to buy something where they're looking to create value add and planning permissions come into place. And this is where you need a good architect on board and have a basic understanding of where you can create value and what the local policy guidelines are. Knowledge is power, and the property market can seem complex, so understanding legalities, financing and also location and market trends requires research and education. Legalities is easy when it comes to first-time buyers or people upgrading homes because you're going to be using a conveyancing lawyer. When it comes to financing options, most people will normally be referred to a broker, and one of my recommendations would be ideally try and get referred to a broker from a family member or somebody that you know, as opposed to an estate agent or any other third party, because what usually happens is they will get a kickback from the brokerage and earn a commission from your financing. Market trends is slightly different. When it comes to homeowner buyers, it usually is based around location and the style of property, whether it's a house in terms of period or modern, or whether it be an apartment in a block or a house conversion. This is something that you need to educate yourselves on. When it comes to rental investors, there's a few more layers. One is going to be your financing. A buy-to-let mortgage, is it going to be on a fixed or variable rate, and what's going to be your monthly payment? That then transfers to the property that you're buying and having a clear understanding of what a realistic market rent will be, and also taking into consideration the agents, lettings and property management fees. Also factor in your rental income tax at 20%. So all in all, you've got to factor all of these in to find out what is your net yield. The fear factor, this is a crazy one. There could be the uncertainty of the market when it comes to homeowner buyers, or there could be vacancy risk when it comes to buy-to-let investors. And this is where sometimes the hope of gain and the fear of losing often outweighs, and a lot of investors miss out on great opportunities. Finding the right fit, identifying the right property, whether it's a buy to hold on a rental investment or a flip, requires a keen eye and market knowledge. This comes with time and experience, and when you're starting out, you've got to try and seek guidance from professionals. It could be local estate agents, or it could be friends that are already in the buy to let or homeowner market in a location that you're trying to buy in. Another area that would help investors is having a keen eye of potential value add that any property allows. For homeowners, this is critical in terms of making decisions. If you're buying a property and it's already got an extension and it's already got a loft, that means that you can't create any further value add and potential. And when it comes to buying flats, it's really important that as investors, you understand the difference when it comes to potential value add based on it being freehold or leasehold. Next section we're going to talk about is the management marathon. For homeowners, the only managing that you've got to do is making sure you're keeping up to tabs with your utility suppliers and your bills, and also if there's any repairs that you need to do. When it comes to buy to let investors, the management marathon gets a little bit more tricky and complicated. Most of you will be using estate agents for your lettings and your property management service. However, for those that are actually doing it themselves, it's the finding of tenants, the maintaining of the property yourself, and having reliable contractors in place, because otherwise the tenants will not be happy with any delays when it comes to repairs. You've also got to consider the tenancy deposit scheme and also employ third-party inventory clerks to do a check-in and a check-out, and this is all part of the journey. When it comes to buy-to-let investors, there's two things that you need to do. One is earn passive income, which is a rental income, and the second thing would be capital appreciation from the property and the location that you've invested in, and this comes through knowledge and experience too. Don't be discouraged. There's many people that have climbed to the peak of Mount Everest, and there's many property investors out there. And the one thing that we all have in common, we started off with 0 properties, and then it slowly and gradually builds up. Let me try and share some tips that will help you accelerate your journey. The first thing is to start small, and if you're outpriced, there's options for you. You can either go wider out in terms of a location, or you can even choose another city. A great way for you to save more is to cut out additional costs which you don't need, whether it be 2 or 3 coffees per day or going out for expensive meals. These are the sacrifices that you need to make to get onto the property ladder. And if you can cut some of those things out, you'll see your bank balance and your deposit get into the number that you're targeting much faster, and it's highly recommended. Educate yourself, read books, attend seminars, and connect to experienced investors. Knowledge is your shield against costly mistakes. Teaming up and consider partnering with more experienced investors or management companies. This is key to try and accelerate your property journey. It also helps you share your workload and leverage on others' expertise. Networks and research. Try and team up with local agents, property investors, any property investor groups that may be in your location, or if it means traveling out. This is a great way for you to gain insights and find secret hacks and tricks that experienced investors use. And lastly, define your investment goal. This is your property lane, and this is the most crucial, and there's only 2 that I would recommend. Either you're a buy-to-let investor, which is a landlord, or you are a flipper. And once you decide which one you want to be, try and be the best, gain knowledge, do some research, find out what the legal implications are, what the financial implications are, and what the benefits are for you to be at the top and the peak of the mountain. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Property investment can be a rewarding path to wealth and passive income. Don't be discouraged by the initial challenges. By educating yourself, creating a network, starting small, you guys can climb Mount Everest too and create a successful property portfolio. What are your biggest fears when it comes to starting your property investment journey? Share them in the comments below and let's start a conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on building your real estate and property empire. With that said, I'll see you at the next episode. Monty Nawaz out.